won 3 titles against Stacy Rider.
And a look at the breakdown from lane 25 and 26. It appears she likes lane 26 a little bit better, but that's also where she ended up on both 10th frames. So
Brooklyn.
She had a few more frames.
Likes that Brooklyn. She's done that a couple of times now.
Well, it's really not. It's not that she likes the Brooklyn. She did do it one other time, but it's the fact that needs to send the ball a little farther to right. She's making an errant shot. She's actually just pulling up on it, hitting inside her target, and the ball's taken off to the left.
Rider for the spare. Picks up the spare, and now Tish Johnson. No one has ever before won the same tournament 3 consecutive years. Johnson won here in 1990. She won here in 1991. She's trying to win here again. Both her victories came from the #1 seed. Both matches came against Dana Miller-Mackey.
Well, Tish likes setting the pace for everybody else to follow. She won 3 consecutive tournaments in the fall of 1990. So, you know, 3 to her is a good number.
Looking for the 4-7.
Appeared the first shot. She slipped a little bit as she ran her foot back on the approach coming back. She's doing it again. I had to laugh during the break there, Bill. She was really entertaining the audience, talking about her golf. I know she went golfing today, trying to stay relaxed, loosen up. It's something that she's doing a lot now in her spare time.
She told us she wants to make a run at the professional women's golf tour. The LPBT.
Sure did. She said she's going to retire here from bowling in 9 years. She then hopes to hit the seniors golf tour for the women. She said by then they should have one, and should be one of an elite group of women that will have participated in 2 professional sports.
4-6-10 on that shot, but this is Johnson's.
Not getting a good release here. She's putting a piece of tape in the ball, squeezed it to try to hang on to it. The ball went right through the nose.
Johnson told us that she's not changing equipment as much, trying to be more consistent.
Well, she signed on with the ball manufacturer here earlier this year. Matter of fact, it was just before the U.S. Open, and she said, you know, I can make anything work, and it's really nice to be with a company because it limits my choices, and I don't get too confused. With all the good equipment that's out here on the market right now, it's very easy to constantly be switching bowling balls and not making the moves yourself as a player. And if you've got the knowledge and the intelligence to just move rather than constantly switching equipment, sometimes you're better off.
Rider in the 2nd frame leaves the 10-pin. Got to figure that she is much more relaxed now than she was when the night started.
Well, that monkey's now off her back, and nobody will ride her anymore about being 0-7.
You see, she's been pretty consistent this year. 12 cashes and 15 tournaments.
And she's been on the telecast 3 times, which is, you know, a decent year with 7 remaining events, or 6 remaining events.
Spare for Rider. She started with 2 straight spares.
Stacy also enjoying golf in her spare time. Maybe after they get done with the match here, they'll move on to the golf course.
Maybe they can help me. You play?
I don't say I play. I enjoy the game, but
I attempt
that's about it. Yes.
3rd frame for Rider.
Trying to get something going here. She had a long a break there. She did not go to lane 24. She is able to go to an adjacent lane and practice, but she chose not to.
Tish Johnson now in the 3rd frame. 6th on a money list last year. #1 in 1990. That's when she was the bowler of the year. 3 titles this year, including the U.S. Open. And a strike. And about making history, well, Tish Johnson is trying to be the first one to ever win the same tournament 3 years in a row. Here's what she had to say.
Oh, my God. I always bowl good in this house. I've won 2 years in a row, and I think I own it, so we're going to try to do our best.
She owns it.
I don't think Dennis Baldwin will go along with that, as he is the sole proprietor, him and his wife, Susie.
Double for Tish Johnson. She says that one of the key things for her here in Baltimore, she's very comfortable, knows all the people, feels like she's at home.
Well, it's a big key. We've traveled all over the country. The players go from one center to another, and the places that we do go on a consistent basis or year in and year out, you get to know the people and the fans, and a lot of places do feel like home.
Fourth frame now for Stacy Rider. Had a strike in the third frame after starting with 2 straight spares.
Stacy taking another re-rack. The players are allowed 2 re-racks per game. If they would like any more, they must request it of our tournament director, Wes Pye. Trying to get a double going.
And does. A double for Stacy Rider.
Keeping her lead in the match. She now still leads by 13.
There's the results through 4 frames.
And you can see the check mark there in the 4th frame. That indicates the re-rack.
Riders from Abra, California, down south, Southern California.
These players also met quite a bit in the WWPB tournaments, regional type events throughout California and Nevada.
For the triple, and she gets it.
Up in her lead by 23, Tish Johnson right now. Up in the 5th frame, trying to keep things going.
And the 6 will not go.
Nice shot. Ball coming in just a hair high. You leave those 6 pins and those 4 pins. Definitely could have gone.
Johnson has won 1 tournament from the 3rd position. It came this year in Michigan. But that's it. 12th year on the tour.
Tish right now is our leading runner in the Bowler of the Year race. She has 3 titles.
Talked about the fact that the U.S. Open title meant a lot to her because it came at a time when her mother had just been diagnosed with breast cancer.
And she's doing quite well now, and things are much better at home. So it's a little bit of thing off Tish's mind now. She doesn't have to worry quite so much about her mom.
6th frame. And a strike. Johnson with a strike in the 6th frame. But right now it's Stacy Rider with a 24-pin lead. The conclusion of our 2nd match after this. 7th frame. Oh! A strike.
Carries a light hit for the double, and while we were away, Stacy Rider had got up and left a 3-pin, came a little high, then hit the pocket, left a 4-pin. So right now, Tish Johnson is trailing by 12.
Despite the fact that she's had 2 consecutive strikes and now goes for the turkey. Only had 1 250 in qualifying. She says she's trying to be more consistent instead of having the great games and the poor games.
But by all means, she would take all those great games. She's just trying to focus a little bit more, keep the ball in play, stay around the pocket, pick up those spares. She just knows that's the key to making the top 24. It's usually the key to making the top 5, not to be so erratic.
1 3 6 7.
The washout, trying to throw that head pin right into the 7.
Tough conversion here in the 8th frame.
Gave away a lot of pin count too on that particular shot.
She's doing